Waiting for you to arrive again.
Hey guys, Ben Wheeler, the Mercenary King here with my new and improved Dungaree deck. This is a little unfinished, a little rough, but I decided to make it while the idea was still fresh in my mind. And of course I'll explain, what I'm missing or what I need, that sort of thing in due time. Dungaree has always been a favorite of mine. Not like Mega Colony, Brunhilde, or Draw, or Bermudas, but still, it's been a favorite. What with the new Desert Gunner Shorin, and a few other cards like Anastasia and the Strides, which should probably get out. But there's a lot of improvements that can be done with Narukami. Especially with the new stuff here for almost any deck besides, Dragonic Kaiser, Crimson, and whatnot. There's just a lot of things you can do here. And Eradicator's got some support as well, though I personally don't really care for Eradicators as much as, say, Dungaree or Vanquisher. Well, that's more because I'm kind of an asshole. Vanquisher's kind of an asshole deck. A little bit. Not as much as some other decks are. I don't really want to get my crane out for this because it's only going to be brief, but I feel that that's been a terrible idea so far. We'll see. Alright, so my starter is Exorcist Mage Dan, all the way from set 12. Basically, every time a Dungaree gets on the Vanguard circle, you can bind a card from the top of your deck. Beware deck thing, but at the same time, he fuels various Dungaree's ability, which gain power or kill potential off of his effect. For this, I run 4 crit, 4 more crit, 4 heal, and 4 draw. Why do I run the generic? I run Sands in my other deck when I run it in this deck because Dungaree needs more punching power, and Vanquisher is just hilarious with the strides. Let's talk about the great ones. For this, for Perfect Shields, I had the proxy a few I traded a lot in Kansas City and became much wealthier, but at the same time, I lost some Perfect Shields. That's okay, though. 4 perfects is good enough for Dungaree. I will be getting these soon. And then for this is interesting because the grade 1s don't really matter for Dungaree. You can have almost any grade 1s you want, and many of them do work, with it. I probably will tweak these ratios quite a bit, but they're generally what I want to see here. Here's Dragon Dancer Agatha. Every time you kill something, you can Soul Blast 1 and give something plus 3k. Multiple copies of her get multiple effects and will help your rearguards hit over 21k, which is numbers. It really does help, keep up the threat for Dungaree more than anything else. This is Deadly Eradicator Way, and every time you ride a grade 3 on the Vanguard circle, you can put him in the soul to kill something. Fuel soul for her. I should probably run more her, but I haven't figured out what my ratios are yet. And you can kill something in the front row. He's nice. Just, kill more. He does work well with just about any Narukami deck. However, he is a hard minus, so you better be careful. Interestingly enough, I never see him paired with like Sweep Command or anything like that. So I don't know. Why people don't do it a little more. Here I have 3 Red River Dragoons. Now, this is a card I'm going to pretty much have at least 3 of in this deck, partly because he hits numbers. He hits 20k with the 12k and more attackers. Shorin, for example, once you do actually stride a unit, he actually becomes like a 14k attacker, so he'll hit 22k, 21k with the 7k booster or more. You can gain up to 18k, so it's a 27k booster. I know it's just like one, but it helps the other ones more than it does Shorin because of Agatha giving plus 3k, turning it into a 23k column, so on and so forth. And these are 10k boosters for Narukami. I don't know whether I'd turn these into Agathas or the Stride enablers, but they worked pretty well in my last version of the deck. We'll see how they turn out in this one. So here are the new stars of the Dungaree deck. Desert Gunner Shorin, G-Break 1 was only flaw. When a card is placed into the bind zone due to an effect of one of your cards, by the way, doesn't matter whose bind zone. You could run him in Nubatama for all the bad it will do to you. This card gets plus 3k until end of turn. He works with Vanquisher. 2, but not as much, because once you get into late game, he sort of drops off a bit, because Conquest Dragon actually doesn't bind anything, and you want to save your Counterblast for Voltage Dragon, and cards like Chitari take up the space that he would otherwise be put in, because you do need some sort of 12k attacker for Vanquisher, just to, be attacker by itself. 4 12k attackers for Dungaree. Now this is another toolbox slot. Right now I'm running basically 2 11k attackers, Hex Cannon Wyvern, an old favorite, and Wyvern Strike Bargus, a new card, 10k. Basically they work to hit 20k, 21k, so on and so forth, with Agatha and other boosts. Interesting cards. The stars of the deck are Dungaree, Sealed Demon Dragon Dungaree. Counterblast 1, choose a card from your bind zone. Choose a card bound with this card's effect and put it into the bottom of the deck. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it in the front row. This ability cannot be used again. If you do not have any cards in your bind zone that was bound with this card's effect, minus 2k when this card is placed on Vanguard Circle, bind 2 cards. He is actually pretty good. Counterblast 1, unbind a card, kill something. Sure, it's limit break, but at the same time, he's not going to weird. Anyway, he's not going to really run out, especially if you put him on the rear guard circle with Dan, means he keeps his 11k, becomes a pretty good attacker, as well as, just generally being good at what he does. I don't understand this phone. He is actually just sort of the base for this. You do need 4 of in any Dungaree deck, simply because of how it works. Honestly, Dungaree should have had a Stride in the recent collection, not that Nobles, but who knows what goes through the mind of Bushy-Road executives. His cross-ride form is Demon Conquering Dragon Dungaree Unlimited. Limit break, Counterblast 2, and bind a face-up card from the top of the deck. Unless unit attacks a Vanguard, pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rear guards in the front row, tire it, and it gets plus 2k for each Narukami in your bind zone. And then it's a cross-ride. Also a Lord. Now, the fun thing about him, SP, is that when you ride him on this, and you do his ability once, as long as you have Dan still in there, he gets 10k from his ability. On the turn that you ride him, interestingly enough, if you have Shorin out there, he will be a 15k attacker with a booster, so that's 22k attacker. Same with other cards, potentially with Agatha and whatnot. You can have a very, very powerful series of columns going all at once. Just thanks to the binds and retires that you're throwing out. Remember, you can run multiple Agathas as long as you have the soul. You can run aways, which kill things, and all sorts of things like that. Really, Dungaree is good not because he's a fantastic card, but because he works with nearly everything. You can build, a deck based around Eradicators, so long as they don't require Eradicator Vanguard, you can do it. You can run Cholos or whatever, I don't know. But Brawlers, anything that doesn't require a condition Dungaree cannot meet, you can run with him and it would still be good. If I was being smart, I'd replace the Hex Cannon Wyverns with the guy who gets plus 3k every time. There's nothing in the front row. But I like the fact that there's, an 11k attacker whenever there's 3 or more damage in the opponent's damage zone. Same deal with the 10k booster. So let's see a little field strides first off. Zoras. Whoop. Whoa. Come on. My goodness, how many Zoras is it? Oh, there we go. Zoras and Conquest Dragon. Zoras is on hit, retires something, or opponent chooses one of his or her rear guards, retires it, and choose up to 2 from the drop zone, bind it face up. Then Conquest Dragon is flip over a Conquest Dragon, kill a front row unit plus 10k, for everything that's, for every open front row circle. They're both pretty good. They both work with the deck, especially Zoras because he works with Shorin. So you could get like a pretty good combo. Let's say that let's say that you've already strode and you decide to do another Shorin. You hit, you ride another Dungaree normal. That's 3 cards to the bind zone. You attack, so it's plus 3 to Shorin. You get plus 2 more when you hit with Shorin, so that's 5 cards bound plus 15k to a certain rear guard. And of course you're running things like Agatha, which will give you power for that, so it even hits more numbers, and if you get any crits or powers or whatever, it'll just keep increasing. Overall though, let's see here. Whoop. There we go. And then I don't know what I'm doing. But point is that cross ride plus things like 11k attacker, 10k booster, AK, whoop this, and let's throw in a Shorin. Okay, so just on the turn, you bind a card when you ride. So you get plus 3k here. I'm sorry, no. Plus 3k here. You then counterblast 2, bind another card, kill something in the front row. Then you soul blast 1, plus 3k here, plus 3k here, for a, let's see here, I don't know. Point is, this column's hitting numbers and crits. This column will hit at least 22k, not more, and then this one will definitely hit 22k. So those are numbers. Those are numbers that can win you game if you get a appropriate crit, and if you can constantly put out these numbers, which this deck can, you can really beat down the Vanguard. Alright, this has been Wheel of the Mercenary King signing out.